Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 13, Chapter 24, Global Bhajan, Part 3 of 3. God responds to prayer that emanates from the heart. Once upon a time, Namadeva, noted for his mastery of the Bhakti Marga through constant recital of the name, and Jnanadeva, noted for his mastery of the path of wisdom, were together crossing a thick jungle. They were both afflicted with severe thirst, but could not find water anywhere in spite of a tiresome search. At last, they came upon a ruined well with a little water far down its depths, but they had no means of going down the steep sides. So Jnanadeva used his power and transformed himself into a bird. The bird flew down and drank its fill, only to change itself into Jnanadeva again. Namadeva relied upon the power of the name. He sat on the edge of the well and called Narayana in great anguish. God responded to his prayer. The water rose up to where he sat, and he could gather it in his palms and quench his thirst. He had no need to embody himself anew and disembody himself again for the satisfaction of a physical thirst. When God is invoked by prayer that emanates from the heart, let it be but once. He responds immediately. But now the call emanates only from the lips. It has not the ring of sincerity and faith. From the lips, it must roll back on the tongue. From the tongue, it must go deep into the throat. From the throat, it must reach down into the heart. Continuous sadhana alone can grant success in this endeavor. You must become like an infant with no inhibitions or stratagems. The mother may be attending to her daily chores on the first floor of the house, leaving the infant in the cradle on the ground floor. But when the child sends up a loud wail, either through fear or hunger, she rushes down to lift the child, fondle it, feed it, and comfort it on her lap. She will not stay away. Just because the child's wail is not musical or melodious. Man's life has become pathetically artificial. Similarly, the Mother of the universe will not weigh the quantity of yoga, divine communion, that you have practiced, or calculate the number of japams, repetition of sacred formula, you have rolled on the rosary, or the time taken by you for sadhana of various kinds. She can be moved and her grace can be won only by a genuine appeal emanating from the heart. Man is finding it increasingly difficult to call upon the supreme source of power and grace with such genuineness. His life has become pathetically artificial. Kamadhenu, the wish-fulfilling heavenly cow, can be drawn and tied to a post by means of a rope. God too can be drawn towards you by the rope, the name, and tied to the post, the tongue. Then his name will be dancing upon the tongue forever, conferring the sweetness of his majesty. The name has to be sung for your own delight, to quench your own thirst, to appease your own hunger. No one eats to appease another's hunger, nor takes drugs to alleviate another's illness. So do not care for what others feel about your dhyana, meditation, or bhajan. Do not seek the approval, appreciation, or admiration of others, or refrain from dhyana or bhajan because others dislike it or ridicule it. Be self-reliant, self-confident. See through your own eyes, hear through your own eyes. Most people today believe their ears and deny their eyes, or they use the eyes, ears, and even the brains of others, and thus fall into error and fear. You are shaped by the company you keep. Consider this. Here you do bhajans twice a day, but bhojans, meals, are taken 4 times a day. Physical exercise is resorted to in order to make the body strong and fit. Dhanya, grain cereal, is grown and stored and used to strengthen the body. Dhyana, meditation, is equally necessary for strengthening the mind, so that in its weak state, it may not yield to the viruses of lust, greed, anger, hatred, pride, etc. If the body is well developed and the head is weak, it is a case fit for the lunatic asylum. Food should be both for the body and the head, and both these should be dedicated to the realization of God, the truth behind and beyond all truths. Seeking good company and spending all available time in that comradeship called satsang, holy company, will help the aspirant a great deal. You are shaped by the company you keep. A piece of iron turns into rust if it seeks the company of the soil. It glows, it softens, and takes on useful shapes if it enjoys the company of fire. Dust can fly if it chooses the wind as its friend. It has to end as slime in a pit if it prefers water. Iron has neither wing nor foot, yet it can either fly or walk, rise or fall, according to the friend it selects. Knowing this truth, Kabir, the great mystic poet, sang, "Here are my prostrations to the bad. Here are my prostrations to the good." When asked why he offered prostrations to the bad along with the good, he replied, "I prostrate before the bad so that they might leave me alone. I do the same before the good so that they might remain near me always." By the power of sadhana, man becomes divine. Here is a burning coal. Here, at some distance, is a cold piece of coal. When they contact each other, the heat spreads to the cold piece of coal, and the part that is in contact with the burning coal is rendered hot and red. If you vigorously sway a fan over the contact area, soon the entire coal becomes a burning amber. Being near alone is not enough for realization. One has to make it dear by the fan of sadhana. This is the power of sadhana by which the human becomes divine. The Vedas say that he who knows Brahma becomes Brahma. The coal knew fire and became fire. Sadhana is the cultivation of prema, love. To be full of love, to taste the exhilaration that love can confer. Man is love embodied. He thirsts for love, and he finds real joy in loving and receiving selfless love. You have forgotten your real nature, which is love, and so you exude misery, hate, and jealousy. Never sulk or be melancholic. Let all see you exuberant with love and light and joy. Do not entertain passion or prejudice, anger or anxiety. Take the sadhana of the name, the Nama Sankirtan, and the path will be smooth. The continuous 24-hour program of bhajans around the world has spread the message of love through the names, which embody universal love. It has saturated the atmosphere with thoughts of God and of the peace and joy that He showers. The bhajan that you have done here has affected not only this particular area and its environment, but it has transmuted the entire atmosphere. Continue this attitude of devotion and humility, of service and tolerance, and the atmosphere will not be polluted by hatred. Do not contaminate the air by voices of hatred, scandal, insult, or slander. Keep silent when you feel like expressing such ideas. That itself is a service to you and to others. Life is a song. Sing it. That is what Krishna taught through his life. Arjuna heard that song on the battlefield, where tensions were at their highest and when the fate of millions was to be decided by the sword. Krishna sang the Gita for Arjuna to listen. Gita means song, and he sang because he was Ananda, divine bliss, wherever he might be, in Gokulam, on the banks of the Yamuna, or at the Kurukshetra, between the warring armies. You too must pass your days in song. Let your whole life be a bhajan. Believe that God is everywhere at all times and derive strength, comfort and joy by singing His glory in His presence. Let melody and harmony surge up from your hearts, and let all take delight in the love that you express through that song. End of Part 3 of 3, Prashanti Nilayam, November 14th, 1976.